Yo guys, I want to go over some common mistakes I see people making, and these aren't just stupid things like, oh, you're not using the one bucket wash method, although you should be. Because we, with the one bucket army, we stand with the one bucket wash method. Brothers, sisters in arms. Sorry. Anyway, so some common mistakes. We're gonna start mostly on the inside, but there's basically things that you can do wrong really easily just about anywhere, and some of them you might even be doing right now as we speak. So let's get to it. First one I have is using these kinds of drill brushes, or just really any drill brush on interior. More often than not, you're just gonna make a huge mess, and then you're gonna have to clean it up. Damn, why is this thing so dusty? Holy crap. It can flick up a lot of like cleaner and dirt and just get it everywhere. And then you have to go and clean all that up. And that's a pretty easy mistake to make when you get some really awesome drill brushes like these and you just want to start using them on anything you can. I recommend not using them on interior unless it's really the trunk area, or if it's a larger car that has a lot of open space. My car doesn't, it's a small sedan, so if stuff gets flung around, it's gonna get just about everywhere. One bucket. Just had to throw that in there. The next is using these kinds of like cleaning brushes on glassier surfaces. So places like where my odometer and things like that are, or my LED screens, really any of that kind of like piano trim. You don't want to be using any of these kinds of brushes unless like the super soft ones, because they're probably going to scratch it up. I've done it on mine and you can actually see some of them. Just try and avoid using, any sort of harsher brushes on those more glassy type of surfaces. I don't know the word to describe it, but glassy is a good word. You ever get like an inflated lip and then you're like, man, I have an inflated lip? Anyway, might just delete that, I don't know. Another mistake is some detailers, with the way they work, they'll have to get back in the car to continue working. So the way you should work is inside out. And so, you can start with the interior dash and console, center command, all that kind of stuff, and then work your way so you're on the outside of the car and you don't need to come back in, and then you can keep working out. The only thing is you want to do exterior usually first, because when you wash the car, there'll be a lot of water that gets in the door jambs and stuff. So if you're going to be doing, interior and working out, make sure you at least get the exterior before you do door jambs, so then you can wipe up all the water that's going to be residing in the door jambs. Another thing I see is sometimes when you're working on the outside, you might encounter, really annoying bird poop or bug stains that you kind of can't get out by just washing conventionally. So you'll like spray and then you'll really rub it in. Wow. And then the dirt won't be there, but you'll end up with a bunch of scratches. Usually if you encounter bird poop or bugs, scratches,
bug stains,
or really anything like that, you want to try and be as gentle as possible, because they do soften up the clear coat, and if you rub really hard, it is going to scratch 100% of the time.
No doubt in my mind.
Might not be a huge scratch, but it will scratch, and then you're going to have to go and polish it, and then you're gonna have to go and take out a loan because you need to buy a polisher and some polishing paint. And then, because you need to get all that polisher stuff, you might as well just get a new car at that point, because it's like just so much work and effort. So make sure you're being gentle when you do encounter those kinds of things. And especially with bugs, I know you can get bug remover as like a chemical, which has like citrus in it, so it helps to like lift off whatever bug guts are in there. It's just what bugs dissolve into, I guess, better, is some kind of citrusy stuff. That's a little tip for taking care of those bird poop and bug stains, and to avoid that kind of little mistake. Oh, if I just rub a little harder, it'll come out. And that's true, but you'll encounter other issues. The last one we got is wheels. The thing about wheels is, you might want to clean them a lot. You don't really want to clean wheels too often, especially with harsher cleaners. But the thing is like, if you are going to clean wheels, make sure you pressure wash the crap out of them after you use the cleaner, because if you don't, you can have things happen like it'll rust out your rotors really bad, or it can cause them to squeak. I have, I think it's carbon ceramic brake pads. That sounds about right. When they do get wet, they do squeak, which is a little annoying. And I notice this like usually after I wash my car and let my car sit for a little bit and then go to drive it, it'll just squeak a little bit, and then it's like, once they heat up and they dry off, then it's good. But yeah, just make sure you are taking the time to properly pressure wash all the wheel cleaner off, because it usually is going to be a little bit of a harsher cleaner. So if you do let it sit, it could kind of etch into the rotor and cause some issues like with rusting, like I mentioned. So just make sure you're getting that well taken care of, boys. One bucket right here. This is the bucket to have, I'm telling you. Little ASMR for you. Another thing I see quite a lot of is trying to detail on a windy day, and like, you know, you're you're like, okay, I just gotta stand up or something. So trying to detail on a windy day can be a little tricky because, you know, all your cleaner is gonna want to get blown around and it really won't go where you're trying to spray it. I've had this issue in the past where I'm using like pump or foam sprayers, and then, you know, I'm spraying and it's kind of just going like, it's like not even hitting the car. It's best to usually just avoid windy days as a detailer, but if you can't do that, just make sure you're trying to be close to the surface working with your sprayer. This is kind of a stupid, whatchamacallit. So just make sure that, you know, you're working close to the surface so that, you know, there's not as much wind getting in between you and the surface, or it's just better to just wait. I think wind is probably the only condition I wouldn't want to work in personally, is if it's super windy, just because it does mess up a lot of things. Like you'll have a lot of leaves blowing into the car and just things like that, or sand or dirt or whatever maybe. So windy day, try to avoid those at the most, especially if it's like a tornado out. You know, you don't want to be swept up in the tornado and then, you know what I mean? So just try and avoid those kinds of things. Just to make sure you clean behind the mirrors. One mistake all detailers usually make is not getting behind the mirror. And trust me, I'm watching you. I'm just kidding. Gotcha, sucker. No, but seriously, get behind the mirrors. Yeah, coming in clutch with these tips today. I mean, I'm sure you guys are really happy you decided to watch this video, huh? Well, this will make it worth it. The one bucket army. This will make it worth it. The one bucket army. Okay, wait, hold up. The one bucket army, boys. We stand united, and we have a little bit of fun with it. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. You know, maybe you don't know detailing too well and you've come here, maybe you're an expert and you clicked off the video by now, but I don't know why you're still listening to this one. Either way, I hope you enjoyed this little video. One bucket army. Man, this is so epic, I swear. Like, dude, every single time I do this, it's so much fun, so. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. We gotta make it new. Dude, what? Did you guys see that? They were fighting over whether they wanted the one bucket or two bucket wash method. I'm pretty sure that was two bugs fighting. They just came out of the sky like a meteorite, right into the field of one bucket arm. They came out of the sky like they came out of the sky like a meteorite. They came out of the sky like a meteorite, just like on the field of the one bucket army, ready for battle. I don't know, that was pathetic. But yeah, I need a new outro at some point because it doesn't really fit the one bucket army now, does it? But, you know, it still holds true. So, see you guys later. I love you guys.